told you that alcohol was more harmful than heroin, you might shake your head in disbelief. But give us a moment to explain. A new study published in Britain today says alcohol damages society like no other drug. Here's Joanna Remiliotis with the details.
You won't get a tour of a crack house too easily.
If you drank only stimulants the entire night, you would wake up with a slight, barely any hangover.
But a stop at a local brewery, that's a tourist attraction. Yes, alcohol is legal, and with it comes the perception. A sip is not nearly as dangerous as a sniff or a needle.
You should enjoy it, when it's appropriate.
Everything in moderation.
A new study calls alcohol the most dangerous drug of all, not for an individual, but for society as a whole, when you factor in drunk driving, other crimes, and health costs. On a danger scale of 100, alcohol was rated 72. Heroin was behind at 55 and crack at 54.
The reason it's so harmful is because so many people use it and so many people are dependent on it and so many people get into trouble with it.
Alcohol is relatively cheap and easy to get. In Ontario alone, sales keep rising every year and now top the $4 billion mark. Making for a cash cow.
Driving. Drinking and driving.
And an elephant in the room. Government liquor boards say promoting responsible drinking is as much as they can do. But Canadian addiction researchers are lobbying for more, and it's why Ottawa is now considering random breathalyzer tests, a policy Australia is using and finding effective. Jacking up prices is another option Canadian researchers will discuss in a forum next month.
Pricing has an enormous impact on consumption levels, and taxation levels, of course, influence pricing and therefore influence consumption.
And part of the challenge, Mann admits, driving home how dangerous alcohol can be in a society that sanctions it. Joanna Remiliotis, CBC News, Toronto.
Now, you may think of Canada as a hard-drinking country, but in a list of 30 members of the OECD, we rank 23rd. Each year, on a per capita basis, we throw back the equivalent of just 8.1 liters of booze. UK drinkers are above average, downing 11.2 liters. But the three biggest drinkers are Luxembourg, Ireland, and Hungary.
What about that? We can affect change. We affect change with cigarettes. Can we affect change with things like pot? Well, we make it unpopular.
Look, I just think that there should be truth in this. I don't drink alcohol, I don't smoke pot, but I've drank alcohol and I've smoked pot. And I can tell you there's a big difference between the two, and that is that marijuana is a lot safer than alcohol. So I think we can introduce truth into this whole equation. We can tell our kids the truth regarding this. And when it comes to the truth and my kids, I love them. I'd rather see them smoke marijuana than alcohol, but I don't want them caught when it comes to, I don't want them subject to the criminal justice system when it comes to marijuana.
It's not about justice, it's not about agenda, it's not about mobilizing people, it's about dialing for corporate dollars. These two parties have sold the U.S. government and the American people to the highest bidders.